Rev up your engines! No surprise, problems are starting to surface with the Ford Bronco Sport. Now, realize the Ford Bronco Sports are made in Mexico, not a bastion of great quality manufacturing. That's just an historical fact. Chrysler made a bunch of cars there, like the PT Cruiser and the Neon. They were crap. I've seen lots of crap cars come out of Mexico from many manufacturers. People are finding loose cables and wires, not even fastened down right, struggling fuel lines, rough cylinder deactivation, and poor one-position floating brake calipers. That's the cheapest way of making them. One piston and they float. Some cars have 6 pistons on each one. This has 1 and it floats. It's supposed to be off-road sport, right? That's the idea. You need better brakes than that. They're cutting too many costs. One guy was driving a Bronco Sports Badland in the sand. In 15 minutes, it entered limp mode. He had to shut it off for 5 minutes before he could get it to move again. They call it the Ford Bronco Sport. So that gives you the idea that's supposed to be able to handle rough things. Ford's turning around and saying, oh, well, these guys are taking them off-road. That's not counting. It's too rough. What's too rough? It's supposed to be the sport, right? So it's supposed to be able to handle stuff. Now, already, the 2021 Ford Bronco Sport has faced 2 recalls, and one was for a faulty rear suspension module that might not be attached to the subframe. That's pretty bad. And it also had a second recall for being equipped with the wrong front lower control arms. The wrong ones put on. Now, what did Scotty say about bad quality control in Mexico? Here we go. They put the wrong arms on. Put these on. Where'd they come from? I don't know. Just put them on. When there's a new model out, you don't want to rush out and buy it. Oh, it's the newest thing. It's the best thing since sliced bread. No. Wait. Like Scotty says, wait. See how it pans out. Since these are made in Mexico, who knows? This is now they're having these problems. Imagine after they've been out a few years to see what's going to break on it. I mean, if they don't even put the cables on correctly in the wiring, the cheesing up, they're probably saying, oh, well, we can put the fasteners further apart so we'll use less and save money. No, that's not what you want. It's something that's supposed to be able to go off-road. Everything's supposed to be tight, done right. They're supposed to have the right lower control arms, not ones that don't fit right and might break off. As I always said, patience when it comes to new vehicles. Not only do you pay more for the new ones and they're cheaper when they're used, but hey, maybe you don't want to buy one used because they're not holding up over time, and only time will show that test. And from my experience, the time and testing of vehicles made in Mexico has shown poor quality. And I'm not changing my mind yet. Maybe I will in the future. Who knows? But I'm not now. Well, I found something out today that's fascinating. I didn't realize you can still buy Datsuns. But you have to be in India. They sell, you see these cute little cars, a Datsun Go, and these things aren't that expensive. 426,000 Indian rupees, okay? You know, I didn't know what a rupee was worth either. So that's like $5,700. And they're cars. And they say Datsun on them. I didn't realize this. I thought the brand was extinct, but I guess not. They're cute little cars. They even make SUVs. And at that price, true. Some of them have dual airbag systems on them. I gotta say, I was shocked to find out that they're still making and selling Datsun. If there's anyone out there in India watching this, tell me what you think about them. Are they good quality? Are they bad quality? The ones they sold in the United States decades ago was great. So, hey, anybody in India or anywhere else are selling Datsuns, tell me what these late model ones are like. I'd like to know. Are they bulletproof like the old Datsuns, or are they junkier like the new Nissans? I'd like to know. X5, Toyota quality's just going downhill. All quality's going somewhat downhill, but take all those reviews with a grain of sand. Admins, all those companies have been bought out by other companies that have ulterior motives, selling used cars. What they review these things on, I have no idea. Because there's no way a Nissan Rogue is going to last near as long as a Toyota RAV4. From experience, I know. The Rogues are junk. When they get older, they fall apart. A RAV4 might go 400,000 or 500,000 miles. The Rogues, 100-something thousand, generally they're falling apart. So a lot of those reviews are just plain baloney. I happen to know some people that do write for magazines and do reviewing, and they might get paid $1,000 for writing an article. Well, that leaves it wide open for bribery. These companies spend millions advertising cars. I'm sure some of these people are being bribed to say a vehicle's better than this, because I've seen some that actually rated Chryslers as some of the best cars in the world, which is total nonsense. And you know, I mean, I've actually met some of these people in the real world. And one guy told me that, oh, there's nothing wrong with Jaguars and Land Rovers. They're great. great cars. And I'm like, buddy, you're not a mechanic, obviously. No mechanic would ever say that. And then after talking to the guy, I said, well, where's your next trip you're going? And he said, oh, well, Land Rover's flying me to Finland or Iceland or somewhere to try out their new Range Rover on the ice glacier and stuff. So, I mean, come on now. Don't believe what those people say. It's a bunch of nonsense. Ryan says, my coolant expansion tank cam flew off my 2001 Toyota 4Runner. What would cause it? What color antifreeze should I use? Well, it's a Toyota modern one. You use the pink Toyota antifreeze. You might need a new tank because it's plastic. It shouldn't blow off. Even if your car's overheating, the cap has a spring. The spring would be compressed. The pressure would come out. You would get steam and coolant come out the overflow, but the cap would stay where it is. If it blew off, you might just need a new tank and a new cap. The plastic eventually will wear and have too much slack in it and it'll pop off. Now, if you do put a new tank and cap on, it doesn't fix it, then you got a serious problem. Like your head gasket's blowing. For some reason, it's overheating like mad. But to start out with, change the tank and the cap, because even if the car's overheating, the cap should have stayed on. It should have just vented the pressure. So change the tank and the cap and maybe it'll fix your whole thing. Ashcar Khan says, quick but dumb question. Are old Honda Civics faster than the new one? Well, not the way they're designed. I mean, you could soup up an old Honda Civic, but you take a Civic Type R, there's nothing faster than Honda ever made than that. It's insane. And the new Civic SIs, not the R, but just the SI, they're extremely fast. No, and they're turbocharging and make them even faster. They're faster than they used to be. Now, you could soup up anything if you really want to, I mean, to make it go faster and faster and faster. If you're talking about the stock factory ones, yeah, they're making them faster. Stephen Rapp said, wife wants Range or Land Rover. I say Land Cruiser. How can I convince her? Tell her you'll divorce her if she buys a Land Rover. They're the biggest endless money pits on the planet. Now, if she's got her own money and she wants to waste it, warn her. Say, Scotty says it's foolish. If she buys it and then it falls apart, well, she's only got herself to blame. Sometimes you can't convince people of anything. I had a customer, and he had a girlfriend who happened to be about 30 years younger than him. And she wanted him to buy her a used Land Rover because he said he wasn't going to buy a new one. He had enough brains for that. So he did. I checked it out and said, hey, they fall apart and it's already got 46 codes, but it runs okay. Go ahead if you want to buy it for her. He did, but it's a foolish move. I told him it was a foolish move. But then again, going out with somebody who's 30 years younger than you is probably ultimately a foolish move too. Tim P says, why doesn't Leslie help you with your videos anymore? Okay, that's my wife. Every once in a while, you hold the camera to do stuff. She doesn't like being on camera. She don't have anything to do with it. She used to hold the camera every once in a while. When she was beginning in a motorcycle, you can see the reflection on a motorcycle of her holding the camera and stuff like that. Now I'm in Tennessee, and I got a grandkid that can do all that stuff, so... And he likes doing it. Jared's doing the camera stuff sometimes. When I need a tricky shot and I can't put it on a tripod or do it myself, he'll do it instead of my wife, who's spending her time doing more useful things like teaching the grandkids. She's a retired teacher, but only professionally retired. She's still teaching. Garage Paul 343 said, should I fix a 2006 Mercedes C230 compressor? A friend doesn't know if he should fix his compressor for $1,000 in total repairs or should sell the car and look for another one. Is your friend a glutton for punishment? Does he like endless money pits? If so, keep throwing money into that Mercedes. 16-year-old Mercedes, I guarantee you it's going to be a money pit. It's already starting to turn into a money pit. If he doesn't have to have AC, drive it without AC. Hey, fall's coming up soon. You might not need it for a while. And yeah, the pandemic, you're going to buy another car. What I'd say would be, just out of curiosity, before he does anything, put it up for sale and see what offers are. You never know. I had a customer that had a Mercedes years ago in Houston, right? I wouldn't have given him $500 for that pile of money pit endless junk. Some couple from Germany gave him $9,000 for that car. I wouldn't have given him $500. You never know. Put it up. If somebody's going to give good money, yeah, then get rid of it and get another, because it's going to be an endless money pit. It's an old Mercedes. I had a friend who was a news anchor on CBS who bought one of those, and he got rid of it because it was too much money, and he was making good money as a news anchor. If you can sell it, great. If you can't, don't fix it. Drive it as it is until the market kind of changes. Find another car first. You can get a good deal on one in a while when the prices come down. Do that, and then sell the Mercedes. Unless you can get a lot of money for it now and take advantage of the high prices and get rid of the stupid thing, because it's going to be an endless money pit. I guarantee you that. Clean Lyric says, thoughts on Toyota CVT transmissions? Between them and Honda, I think they make the best CVT transmissions in the world. The only problem I've ever seen with the Toyota CVT transmission was that one beginning year when they brought back the Toyota Corolla hatchback, and they built all the CVT transmissions bad. But to my knowledge, no one ever bought one because they saw the problems and they took them all back and fixed them before they sold them to anybody. My son has a Toyota Corolla with the CVT. It's got tons of power. He says it gets better gas mileage even than the rating, and he's a fast driver. They seem to make pretty good CVT transmissions. Toyota and Honda both design their own. They have very good engineers. Have them available with launch gears where they actually start on a regular gear, first gear, and then once it gets going fast, it switches to the CVT transmission. Haven't seen any problems with them yet, and they sure run good and get great gas mileage. Little C and Sally says, Scotty, do you watch Family Guy? Yeah, I think it's a funny show, especially since I have in-laws on the East Coast near Rhode Island, so I find it rather hilarious. And I'm not a particularly politically correct person. I like the show because it isn't politically correct. It makes fun of everyone. And that's what humor is supposed to be. Make fun of everyone, not just making fun of left wing or right wing, making fun of absolutely everyone. That's what comedy is for. Get a little levity into the situation. People take stuff too seriously. Oh, you can't make fun of that. You should be able to make fun of everything. That's what humor is about. And the best comics do that. They don't just make jokes about sex or this or that. They'll make fun about absolutely everything, and the best ones do it, and it's funny, and I like watching it. The Family Guys are pretty funny. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.